something along there.
All right. Let's get into
Okay,
it. Game.
phase.
I love when there's new teams coming up to the league, seeing new players, also. That's always
Yeah,
super exciting.
because you could always learn from them. Because everybody has different play styles, so you could always learn from each other. Like you get ideas, use it. You could figure out like how to like they might use a very popular comp, but you could figure out in this how to counter it. And it looks like we're getting an Intel ban, like we did with a home fee.
I mean, last game Comfort was so good.
Oh, this
The game
game
I
too.
casted, the game I casted earlier, we had
Oh,
first Mimikyu that was allowed by a team, and it went off with a Comfort. It was
yeah.
crazy.
So it looks like Umbreon, which is a really good defender slash support, is getting picked first. But the Comfy is a weird pick because it's never really it's never picked. So who knows? And we see Lionel and Dar. Lionel's definitely picking the LD, and Dari picking the Blastoise. Do you think he's
Response
gonna
with,
go rapid spin?
it depends if they take another tank. But I haven't seen a lot of Rapid Spin Blastoise, weirdly enough, this season. Looks like a lot of people use it as a pure tank.
Yeah, but looks like we got Clef and a Venu.
Hmm. All right.
And Gar and Luca.
I'm a bit surprised about the Lucario pick into the Umbreon and the Clefable.
Yeah.
Eh,
Jagapult. Thing pick from the Jagapult being picked. You never see a lot of it. And then we got the Blaziken picked.
ending with a Pikachu.
Yeah, figured. Uh Revidas really likes the Pikachu when he plays.
So which set are we seeing? The Volt Tackle set, or are we seeing the
So based
Thunderbolt
on
set?
the enemy comp, they have a Dragapult, so I might go Volt Tackle here.
That's what I was thinking too, right? That you can't really go with the other set except if you just feel like you're gonna hit them consistently.
Yeah.
But it's a big gamble, right? Especially with that full heal on that Dragapult, you kind of might be able to ignore that.
Yeah. Like Luca could stun it, like get rid of the full heal, and then Pika could just stun it again. It
Hmm.
could go Volt Tackle Thunder. I've seen a lot of people go that Volt
Oh,
Tackle Thunder.
I love that strategy. You put your Thunder up and then you trap them with the Volt Tackle in there. So good. And I think
So
you might be right. That might be good against that comp. Don't get punished too hard for the Volt Tackle dive.
both teams have a lot of teams have both of these teams have interesting sets, like a stacking LD, a double band Luca, double band Umbreon. So it's interesting to see how that's gonna play out. You usually see like a weakness policy on Luca, you usually see a buddy and focus on Umbreon. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think the Umbreon's gonna go foul play based on its set.
All right, then let's get going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And we could
okay.
uh,
Oh,
I paused it. They're in base.
is a crush. I mean, we might have to reset. Looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just do a reset and just same picks.
This is why it's always good to have randoms.
And then, yeah, that's why we try to cast every game, right? So everybody gets an opportunity to get an admin. Well, I guess it gives us time to think about what's going to happen a little bit. Well, everything sets back up.
And it looks like everybody got 0, 0, 0, 0 on line. Good job. Perfect goose eggs all around the game board.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I guess I messed it up somehow. Can you find the lobby?
Yeah, 4639-8071.
You said 0639?
I got you. I just had to find you on my friends list.
I think I just sent you an invite. You'd have to accept
Yeah,
it.
there.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Fingers. We good. We good. You're ready as well?
Wait.
They should be picking the same amount. Little kinks of week one when everybody's not used to the system, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Pikachu, Satori, Pika, Pika, Pika. No, no.
Brickstar needs to switch
Yeah.
to
To look.
Luca.
There you go, Satori. Oh, the sound, the 10-second timer is so different. I haven't heard that in a while in draft
Nice
or
try.
without draft and blind pick. So different in admin the sound. It's usually like a hardcore 10-second timer. This was like a quiet, subtle. I'm
It was like
reconnecting.
you're
I
reconnecting.
lost. Yeah. What about you?
Looks like I'm in there. If you want, I can probably stream it back to you.
It's fine. I can reconnect.
Alright. Anyways, we're gonna see. Looked like the Dragapult was going in the jungle, probably Guardy as well.
Just casting until I get ready. Back.
Mm-hmm. Alright. See any jungle invade? Maybe we're gonna see an LD getting that red buff. No, looks like it's just going in lane. Okay, both sides on the top side are just gonna try to get some stacks. No, just the Lucario. On the bottom looks like went to Satori Red Vest. Praying for that middle farm. Let's see who's gonna get that.
I'm in.
Big Electro Ball, but I think it was the Eevee still got it.
And the Eevee stays alive with the potion.
Mm-hmm.
Trickster just trying to heal on base. Dari just trying to get low for Eldegoss
Mm-hmm.
for to Eldegoss and does not get it. It was too close to Trickster for the evolution. 8 birds and it looks like I don't know they Quark Drive got majority of the
Ooh.
8 minutes, but the Dari got 4, almost level 5 from that
Mm-hmm.
850.
Big engage on the bottom. Looks like there's just been a trade. Both tanks went down and it was pretty even.
Yep, and it went fall, so it'll definitely go full tackle here, not thunder.
Mm-hmm. Like we talked about it earlier. Looks like the Pikachu is
Mm-hmm.
going back to base and going towards the top side now into the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the
Blue,
Blaster's gonna try to hold at the bottom.
a blue tortoise trying to sneak a stack, but Umbreon stops it. Meanlook's trying to stop him from going back to base, but no pressure in enough time. And it looks like it's Water Spout Rapid Spin with a EXP share instead of being an all rounder. Interesting choice, and it gets the perfect 16, the sweet 16 off.
Pikachu, a
Base,
little bit in trouble. Big reset for that Dragapult getting that kill.
but he's not gonna go back in. He's just
Mm-hmm.
playing. Pikachu is just spawning back. It
It
looks
looks
like
like
jungle's.
and that Blaziken just getting fed up top over there. Look, they're just leaving it up
Yeah.
top all alone. It's probably gonna get his stacks, all his levels.
Genji just messed up the timing, but he still gets it for free. But he messed up dragging all of them, doing slight damage, but grabs the big. But he fixed it, getting all the farm.
Like
And
Dragapult and Gardevoir going back.
Genji not going for the stacks, but he does. He's coming down ult because he gets his ult at level 8 or third move as you call it.
Similar to Dragapult, actually, if you look at it. They have the
Yeah,
two Pokemon that have that ability to not really have a Unite.
yeah, but one gets at 8, one gets at 9, and one gets more.
And that's a big beam from the Venusaur to secure. Big counter, looks like the big engage. That
And
Lucario.
Luca goes down. Huge dive by Genji of Quark Drive. And it looks like they're not going to do matches or and break it. Guardy with a bad ult misses the ult that could have gotten a 5-man ult. And it
Mm-hmm.
looks like Dari's rotating top. It looks like Quark Drive stayed stop to get the farm, trying to get a bigger level lead.
And they're doing a strategy where they don't leave anybody bottom to protect that pad. They're just happy with bringing their entire squad to the top and make a big push.
Yep, and it looks like they're scoring 35 points bot side,
Mm-hmm.
if I correctly. And Luke
Mm-hmm.
and Blaze KFC got the huge secure Giga Drain healing off the beast. A Toad getting the huge ult off, making Luca retreat, but the mean luck we couldn't make him retreat. And it looks like KFC goes down to the yellow rat, and it looks Clef gets the 30 in, breaking the T1 pad. Luca goes down getting some farm. Dragapult with the huge 3-piece.
And they're really using that Dragon Bolt really well, protecting it and letting him finish all those kills as well so he can get those resets.
Yep. And we know how good that third move is at securing. So and you get 2 stacks in, so it's a really great move to have in your arsenal.
But I think they
Honestly,
use it for shredding because they have that Beam
yeah.
Venusaur and the overheat from the
Yeah.
Blaziken, right?
Yeah. Honestly, in my opinion, Dragonbolt's really underrated, especially in draft pick, because you know what you're playing against, so you know to
Big 40 on the top side for Lucario.
Luca trying to get stacks in 170 and 99. They're down by 671.
Huge
And
Guardiol.
but it looks like Team Quark Drive got the huge secure. Dragapult gets the Regirock, trying to give him the defensive buffs, but it does not come in time. So it looks like Team Midnight Grief gets the team almost a team, but break one pad with 46.
And that was huge XP. Even though they lost the objective, it didn't really matter
Clef ult
because
with Hyper, but does not able to get the Pikachu down. Guardy just
actually,
farming up in the jungle.
mm-hmm.
Both teams rotating top side. 1 second until Elky spawns. Elky spawns. Guardy trying to
I will say about Quark
Quark.
drivers. They like to play like a big 5 looks like. They don't really like to protect those pads, looking at that they've been able to back up on them. But they're very aggressive on those objectives too, right? Always in position to get them. Huge engage, and it just kind of backfires for them, right? Looks like.
Huge Guardiol killing the Venu, trying to put their team on to score to break the T1 pad, and it does go down. Satori and Tricks are retreating, get full health, while Revidas scores bot side.
And this is what is it? 29-point lead for Midnight Griefers. And that Dragapult is gonna hit his 13. Can the Venusaur hit 13? That would be massive for them. Same for that Blaziken. If you can get all your carries to 13, you're in a really,
Lucas,
really good spot.
but it looks like Midnight Griefers kind of has the level lead because they have the level 14 Guardy, while they only have a 13 and 2 12s and 2 11s, while the enemy team has a 14, 12, 11, 13, and 11.
Hmm.
And what interesting thing about Reefers, they have only 4 ejects and a potion, while the other team has 2 ejects, a full heal, X speed, and a potion. So they're
Mm-hmm.
going with ability instead of going out.
And
Huge
that
LD
L,
secure on the Reggie Ice, giving them the extra heals. Pikachu with a huge ult. Can it get the team? Can a Midnight Givers get the team wipe? And they get the 3-piece instead of the full 5-piece. And now they're gonna have a lot of position for Ray fight. The Green Dragon. And it looks like they're just gonna they're ripping. They know they
they
have
have that Lucario Unite coming out really big, and the God of War.
huge Venu could not get there in time, and they knew they had the rip, but not to secure. So they got and they were in position, so it was smart play by them. And it looks like game 1 was Midnight.
I think in this situation, it's just once they start popping their Unites, you have to pop your Unites back, right? At that
Yep.
bottom 5, because once 3 went down, it was kind of over. They had all the momentum in their favor.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like what Midnight Griefers had the advantage of is actual ults. Because as you saw, Quark Drive only has 3 ults, 4 if you count Dragapults, because it does a lot of damage. Because Blaziken is just a stand It does very little damage, so they're very low on ult. So they were given a disadvantage, but they played really well with that despite the disadvantage. And they're looking for a last minute push, but Midnight gets their time and stops ult, getting the team wipe.
Like
I think,
that God of War, except for that one Unite early in the game, just was on point with them afterwards. Every time
yep,
just hitting huge ults.
definitely.
And Midnight Griefers looking a little bit in trouble in the early game, like looked like they were struggling, and then a couple of good back apps, couple of good team fights, and they're really back into this game, huh?
Yeah. A very low damage game from both teams. The most damage is 82,000 this game.
I mean, the Pikachu with that 70k though too. That especially with Electro Ball Volt Tackle, it's not necessarily a build that does a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's more of like
Mm-hmm.
a crowd control to stun
Mm.
for your team to do damage, but it did 71. It, it was fine. The positioning. I feel like what could make full tackle even better is the is if you could pick where you land, kind of like Cinderace's Blaze Kick and Gren ult and stuff like that. That'll make it really good, a, a really better. But we have no control. The devs make control for that.
You're right, Mal. That last Reggie bot, it was just like once you see the timer hit 212, that's the fight. That was my rule on my team. I don't know if you played the same way, Mike, but that's what I tell my teammates when we play. It's like if you're in a bottom Reggie fight and it's 212, it's Unite time. You're taking the fight.
Yep, you definitely have to because you might not have another chance to make it.
Well, especially if they take the fight first, and we saw what happened when you're the ones that does the offensive move. It's more likely for you to win.
Yeah, or you just get positioning and let the enemy take it and get positioned. So then when they come up, you have
Mhm.
ult and you can just kill them from there.
Mhm. Completely agree. Also, apparently your mic is cutting in and out, just so you know, a little bit.
Okay, because yeah, I'm not using headphones. I can get headphones real quick, but it's
Wish,
already
as you wish. Just giving you the info. All right, and we got our first ban looks like, and it's gonna be Dodrio. Hmm. No, it was a really close game, Mal, for sure. Like, I mean, Quark drivers had the early game. I think they made a bunch of push top as a 5, and they let a little bit of Midnight Griefers get that XP back that they really needed to compete, and then a couple of good God of War ults, and you're back in the game, right? Also, Mal, you have a real group of casters for this league this season, huh? Everybody.
definitely more than the last 2 seasons. With a lot more people definitely picked it up, so Ribbon Shoe doesn't have to do everything by herself.
Mm-hmm. Well, it just kind of works out that this season I don't have a team, so I'm free every night, to do it, and I'm enjoying it so
Yeah.
much. So much fun to see all of you guys
Plus,
participate.
Ribbon can't cast every game now because she's participating in the league now, unlike
Exactly
last
right.
season.
Exactly. We kind of flip flopped on this one. She came back. I had to. I'm taking a
Yeah.
break.
Next season it'll be the opposite again.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe that's my calling, being a caster.
And it looks like the first ban is in.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight bans Dodrio
Hmm.
and Quark drives ban Mimikyu and Guard.
That Gardevoir really got to them, huh? They don't want to see it again in game 2. Not
Mm.
again.
Uh,
Oh, I just put the lobby code in, but thanks.
welcome.
All right. Oh, for sure, Mal. I was a bit concerned when I saw that first unite, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a big miss," but like, definitely redeemed.
But we all had that kind of moment though, where we almost unite. So we
Mm-hmm.
can't really hold it against them, but like same time, one missed ult could like change the whole game because a missed ult could make your team get wiped out, and then they get XP and then push.
Or you don't have it for the next fight, right? Like, could they have
Yep.
used that God of War ult at the top side when they got the Elk? Even though they won that fight, you would rather have that unite in that situation, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen Linnell play. If I remember, a nasty Dragonite in season one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had confidence she would pick it back up, right? But you're always concerned, morale can go down really fast in this game. A couple of mistakes, and you get a little bit tilted, and we've all been there. And our last band is Urshifu. Feel bad.
Yep. There she.
I mean, it seems similar to game one, except for that Gardevoir that's clearly a target ban.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, if you're a type of team that likes to play, very, death ball kind of way, Gardevoir is a really bad matchup for your squad. You ready?
Yep.
Not that I want anybody to lose, but I kind of hoping for a game three. It was so entertaining in game one. I like the pressure moments.
Okay. Let's see who the in game ban will be. Bans and B. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like interesting
Uh,
bans for drivers. It looks like that Pikachu gave them real troubles, and looks like Midnight Griefers are gonna go with the blue American Sniper Inteleon once again.
Looks like they want to see them off their comfort picks, I guess, with that Guardy and Pika ban.
Yep.
So let's see what we're gonna get out of the first pick from Midnight Griefer. Yeah, from Midnight Griefers. Blaziken, really, really good on, by the way, on all the games I've
Yep.
seen so far, putting in the work.
Mm-hmm. But now it's on the other team's side. I wonder if they could do way better. And it looks like Blastoise and Hoopa, they taking away the Blastoise from Rev, but also getting a lot of macro plays and teleportations with the Hoopa.
And that Venusaur Eldegoss combo coming out.
Mm-hmm. Umbreon, that's a late, and Glaceon. Ooh,
Ooh.
we know how broken Glaceon is with that Ice Shard buff. It makes the autos really fast and keeps up its Icicle Spear stacks.
Pro-
So,
Probably Rapid Spin Blastoise as well again this game.
Yep. But as an all rounder this time because it has no EXP share.
Mm-hmm. Then we're
But
gonna
we
see a
also don't.
pre-Espion.
Espion. We know Trickster's really comfortable on that. What a comfort pick. And then Bree is the last pick. We definitely going to see a lot of swaps coming in because people didn't swap during draft. And we see another Dragapult pick here.
I think they liked it in game one. I think they got caught and they're thinking they can run it back because it was putting in that work, especially in that early game part.
Mm-hmm. Muscle Band on Tree. Can he become the Lorax and stop people from cutting down the tree, or will he go down and not become will we see a lumberjack or the Lorax? So will it be cut down or keeping alive?
And I think doesn't die. That's a tree with the potion on top of
Yeah.
it.
And it looks like it's gonna be all rounder Stoice. And then Dragapult jungle and then Glaceon bot lane.
They have a crash.
Yep. Who does?
They're just called crash.
Okay. I'll
We're gonna
pause right away because I'm
oh my god.
Bandicoot.
Someone's listening in.
I can pause right away.
Yeah, one of us. Because one of us does it. But
I'm on mobile, so like everything loads.
yeah, I can't beat you. That's for sure. I
Yeah,
can't beat.
it takes like 2 seconds on mobile.
Not even. The time hasn't even moved.
Yeah, it looked like trees started moving like really quickly.
Alright. I think the Spin Blaster is going to be make or break this game. I think if it can get in the back line, get to that Venusaur, like they have a good shot at taking care of it. Not much you can do to stop a Rapid Spin Blasters with the comp they have. Especially if that Hoopa can follow, give him a couple of portals when he dives.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There we go. I wait until it was 5. Be a number.
Fine.
And it looks like SP on bot side. Blaziken top with an LD expected, and then Venus jungle. But we're not going to see a red buff from and won't. They're not going to do red buffs here. Maybe they just forgot, or they put a lot in top.
I think they just
So
want those stacks. I think the LD is stacking, so it needs the stacks right early in the game.
rare to see double stacking in lane.
Mm.
But red buff either. Oh, weird from Quark Jive, but they're coming level 5 bots. Um,
And we're going to see that battle again on the bottom side with the jungler going over there. Espion
and it
is
looks
huge though at 5.
yeah, it looks like it's Glacier Path or
See a little bit of trading, trying to get that Umbreon.
yep.
Big.
Umbreon goes down. Dragapult get the reset? And yes, it can. And does not get the kill on Satori, but Satori finally gets out of the Ninja Doll and goes down, getting Dragapult its reset. But Revidoff gets back in time. Icicle Spear gets Dragapult stealing the kill from their teammate.
And that
It looks like
Dragapult again in the early game, putting in the work.
yep. KFC level 5, almost close to 6, while the Healing Flower it's almost level 5.
Blasto is hitting the 6 as well.
Both teams getting ready for the 8 birds. These Dragapult starting it, but KFC pushed them downward, getting out of Dragapult's range. And it looks like Umbra got leveled up from that to level 5.
Good hold by that Glaceon on the bottom while you got 2 people trying to push. And now we have a 3v2 in the top side. No, it looks like Dragapult is right there to help them. A Hoopaport coming in, trying to see if they can get some help. Can they pick off the LD? Big stun on that Venusaur that's caught out.
Huge Ninja Dog from Satori, but it's still not enough, and it goes down to Rapid Spin Water Spout. Quark Drive getting majority of the getting all of the 720 birds. KFC, it looks like Trickster is going to stay top, try to get stacks in, but going to stay top. They're finally changing up the strategy to keep one tap to keep momentum up and pressure to keep Trickster under leveled.
And that Dragapult actually this time coming in at 9 at the bottom, and looks like Satori is a little bit behind with his 8 3/4.
It looks like both teams are trading top. What a huge way to score. He went through jungle upwards to get some stack scores in, and he gets 2 scores in. Can he get one? Yes, he can, but focus procs in time. Bot lane, it's Reggie Ice. Icicle Spear has the rip, and he gets it over Bean. Bean was a little too late to that. They have a lot of rip on their team. They're looking for to just rip for Rayquaza.
And good math, taking their time, thinking about it, getting that 30-40 in. And are they going to leave? And they're leaving this time the Umbreon. Yeah, they learned from last game, as you said earlier, where they just don't leave those lanes open anymore.
Yep. Because if you leave it open, they have ways to put it in. Plus, they have a lot of rips, so they just need 4 people in each lane just to get the rip off and get the objective.
Midnight Griefer's a little bit in trouble. Looks like
KFC also goes down, but without before getting a kill.
A little bit unfortunate. They could have put 25 from that Hoopa and then the 40 in, but hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt them later in the game.
What we need to see Team Midnight Griefers do is just push a lane and break it, because with a Hoopa on the enemy team, you just got to break pads, so it doesn't have a lot of macro decisions here. And they could also afford to keep one bot because of the Hoopa. They know they just could teleport if they need the extra hand.
Exactly. That's the beauty of Hoopa. It just gives you that opportunity to just do whatever you want, the pushes that you want, just because he has so much mobility. And especially also with the Unite, you can just leave it back to protect the pad, or both actually, because he has the high space portal, right? And push pads. And Mhal, you're right. Like Dragon Ball Glaceon combo shredding, it's actually like I don't know what you're supposed to do. It's just too much damage coming out. And again,
and it looks like bot lane and bringing Umbreon top. It looks like Trickster's trying to get a stack, but not get a point, and it looks like he's just going to rotate bot to help.
But it doesn't really matter because they have the Hoopa to unite the Umbreon back end if they need to.
It's Registeel. Both teams are going to try and look for this. And it looks like Tree's trying to zone them out, but can he do it enough time? Huge Tree ult stunning. Blastoise with the ult stunning Midnight Griefers. Satori very up forward. Beams early, but gets the Venu ult off and gets a huge secure with its ult. Tree stunning Koopa. Umbreon was stealing shield from Tree. And Glaceon getting the Glaceon killed.
I would say that's a win for Midnight Griefers. That's a win. You got your objective. You got your some XP back more than they got back.
Yeah,
you can put that.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you can live with that. Yeah, go ahead.
Because Quark has the level lead. It was a 2-for-1 or 1-for-1 trade, but we saw that Dari or the Elder got lower level than them, so they definitely Midnight just got the better trade from that. And they scored some extra points, giving them a little more leeway. Both teams, it looks like Quark is this like 5 seconds of rapid and Glaceon, get 308. It's not going to be enough time for another Reggie. But they looks like they're trying to break bottom, but they do not get in time. So that's where he gets out.
And a
Huge
huge double kill.
with the overheat. Oh, the 40 almost goes in, but does not go in. Lionel trying to get away, but and it
Oh,
kills the Glaceon. Huge trade for Midnight Griefers getting the Glaceon killed, giving Espeon a huge level lead back.
I still think Midnight Griefers are happy with that. You put a lot of points in that pad. You got some XP, a bunch of kills. You need to close that gap. And if you look at it, it's there's only what 62 points between the two teams, right? And that break on the top looks like it's unfortunate they didn't get more points because they would feel a little bit more confident if they were like 80 to 100 points ahead.
Yeah, and we know that at the 2-minute mark, it's double points. So that bot is only 2, so that's going to be a huge overtop for
On both
even with top.
sides. Uh, And it looks like most carries hit their level specs. Actually, Midnight Griefers with a little bit more levels. 14, 13, 13, 12, 12. Like a
Yeah,
little bit of poking at the ray. That Blaster's a little bit behind, really needs
Hoopa
big.
with an early Hoopa with the early ult, Glaceon with the early ult. It looks like the team ahead is taking the very aggro playstyle here for Ray fight. Looks like Tree's out positioning everyone and setting his team up for the team wipe, and
Oh,
the team wipe goes to who gets the Penta triple for the Venu, and the Tree steals the Penta game, the 4th kill. And Tree with the huge Huron rune, the green
it's
dragon that everyone
very,
hates.
very aggressive play from
Mhm.
Quark drivers. I'm a bit surprised, right? They have the lead. You would think that they would just stand back, and it's kind of like it kind of played the opposite way, where you had Midnight Griefers just happy to hang back, wait out a little bit those ults, and just pop theirs right afterwards.
Yep, because they know they have the shields from the ult and probably Buddy Bear if they have any. So Umbreon used ult very early before Midnight Griefers get to use their ult, so it didn't get a massive shield from its ult. And it looks like they're trying to put top, trying to get something in. Trickster trying to getting out with a very low HP.
And again, it looks a little bit like game one, where they got the early game, mid game part, but it looks like they need a little bit of work on those Ray fights where they're getting a little bit outplayed by the opposition.
Yep. I usually see the opposite. Like a lot of teams get behind like what Midnight Griefers were, get behind early game and catch up late and early mid to late game. And teams usually don't, and
Mm-hmm.
they have like, but they really need to work on their late game here.
Mm-hmm. It's just the game rewards you from more when you play from behind, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
keeping your lead up and understanding when to put pressure on opponents is very hard.
Um, Jogpole putting in the most damage with 68k.
I mean,
LD putting in 51k healing. Huge numbers.
huge numbers, and it was a very balanced game overall, very back and forth, and it's just one team took an aggressive position and they didn't they weren't able to take that advantage from being aggressive. I think they maybe compensate, and maybe they got caught last game not being aggressive, and this time they're like, okay, this time we'll take the fight to them, and unfortunately it didn't work out for them.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Rev. Let's go to gaming 2 so we can do an interview.
Sounds good.
Unless if you're the only one that wants to join.
I don't care. We can get them to join.
All right.
Go to gaming 2.
Gaming 2. Okay. All right. Hey, Rev.
Hi, Turtle. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, no, for sure. The VOD will be up right after I'm done. Yeah. I'm doing good. It was fun. You guys put on a show today.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely one of those things. It's like, oh, let's see. We've only had one actual team practice,
oh,
like 4 months since UCS season. So
damn.
I
Well,
need
I
to say,
mean,
I need
it
Satori in here. I need to tell him
uh,
something.
I was just gonna say,
Grandpa,
that
Grandpa,
grandpa.
call him Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa, get in here.
No,
Also from Dari.
I was
From
gonna
Dari.
ask.
He's got a bad voice right now. I'm Batman. That's what he's been saying all night.
All right, Rev, I just have a quick question for you. It looked like in the early game, you guys were like falling behind a little bit to them. They were putting a lot of pressure, especially with that Dragapult. Like, how did you guys handle that? And what was like the your way of compensating for that lack of early game dominance?
I heard there was a grandpa that was needed here. Sorry to interrupt.
Welcome in, welcome in.
I mean, I
Just
can chime in with the strat for this one actually. So I'm Satori, by the way, captain for the Griefers. So our thought process behind our picks was, hey, if they're gonna pick like high power early game characters like Dragapult and Glacy, we just need to not get super duper behind early, right? Like if we're getting behind early, it's fine. But if we're like losing inner goals on early game, like that's pretty scuffed. So the whole strat was just, hey, don't let them get inners, scale up and win the game. So we did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, Red, Satori, you usually I like to see you change things around, right? Because when you usually play, you guys lose. So it was interesting to see the opposite this time.
Was that a question or just an insult?
No, a compliment.
Oh, okay. Well, we appreciate it.
Um, so, um, so in my opinion, right, in game one, when you chose the Pika, I was shocked to see the Thunderbolt E-Ball instead of like Volt Tackle Thunder.
Yeah. So the reasoning behind that was, so I was looking at it, I was like, well, this could be a Thunder game, but the thing is that they didn't have like a lot of static pieces, right? Like their biggest static piece was Venu, and as Pika, you're never reaching Venu. So my thought process is hey, if I'm running Volt Tackle E-Ball, I can Volt Tackle Dragapult. If I go for flanking plays, I can Volt Tackle Venu and just kind of pick off the backline. Whereas, like, they're not really running at us, right? They're running, what were they running? They were running, like, their front line was Umbreon and Clef with, like, Dragapult dive. So, like, I can pick the Dragapult off if he dives. Umbreon Clef don't really dive super hard, so there's no point in taking things that'll like murder static pieces. Because I don't have the reach. And so we just kind of went E-Ball, Volt Tackle, allowed me to get some sick flanks off and get ultis.
That's what we like to see. Were you shocked that they took the aggressiveness in game 2 at Ray Fight?
Not really. They were, by all means, they were behind at that point in the game, right? So, they have to do well. I guess actually no. I guess we were behind, so we needed to do something.
You had the levels, but they had the point lead.
Right. Yes, that's correct. Okay. Sorry. Game 2. Yeah. So in game 2, we're behind, so we need to make something happen. So we actually needed to be the aggressive ones there. The problem is that because their team comp was focused so hard on early game, I don't know about the rest of the team, but I personally wasn't super duper worried about like a hard engage from them. Like the biggest worry I had was like Blastoise, right? But I have Shedinjadel for that. So, if they want to play back and like let us basically poke down Ray and have pretty much guaranteed secure with Bimu, like, sure. I guess we can just take the Ray down, and then if they want to take and then that kind of forces them to have to come to us. They had no insult to them, but they had a couple of questionable ults, particularly the Glace ult as early as it came out, and the positioning it came out at was really, really bizarre. It almost looked like they were expecting us to go super hard on them, and it was like meant to cut us off, as well as like give Glace a position in bush to get stacks on icicle spears. But we don't really ever have a reason to hard engage like that. Since we're running Bimu Espeon, we kind of want them to hard engage on us. So we just got to watch Glaceon ult go down and then run away. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, I
You
mean,
guys want
in game one, it was kind of the opposite, right? At the Ray fight, you all like fought for that bottom objective, and you guys engaged the first on them afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
And were you surprised? And that's what I commented. We commented on the cast is that they were opening their lanes a lot. Game one, like you were able to back cap very efficiently all game, which is something that
Yep.
didn't allow you guys to do game two. I thought that they adjusted
Allowed me to
very
get my
well.
stacks then I needed.
Yeah, right. No, but game two, it was a clear adjustment. That was like that was very nice from them to realize that gave you a lot of momentum. I felt in game one that you were able to score so much and get those levels back.
Oh, yeah. Definitely was helpful.
Yeah, and I think in game one, I was actually more surprised that they didn't leave anybody to defend the goal, especially being as ahead as they were early game. They realistically didn't need their Umbreon to be in any of the bottom side fights early game. Yet he was there. And honestly, we were debating banning Hoopa at one point. And maybe it's still ban worthy. Depending, in the right hands, Hoopa can be super oppressive with rotations. But even with the Hoopa and their rotations, like, yeah, they didn't really leave their goals open, but it still felt like they were on the back foot. They were having to hoop a portal two objectives that we were pressuring. And even on like the bot fight, where we had a 40 that was about to go in, that felt like a hey, we just barely stopped them from breaking bot goal type thing. More so than it was like a hey, we just kind of crushed them in a team fight.
Yeah, that's what we realized, that you guys got a lot of points in, a couple of key kills when they didn't get much back because they were ahead at that point. So what they were getting out of you was marginal XP, and you guys were getting like actual value out of those engages.
Right, exactly.
Nope. Yeah, I'll do that.
And to kind of speak to how the aggressiveness worked in that one, because if you're looking at it from the outside in, it looks really weird. The team that was ahead in kind of both matches kind of made the super aggressive play at Ray, and I think it just comes down to situation, right? Like in a different situation where they're not playing so aggressively on the bottom Reggie, right before Ray, maybe we just back off and we chill and we're just staring down Ray, waiting for them to do something. But because they played so aggressively on the bottom Reggie, it was a great opportunity to say, hey, they're kind of very far away from the goal that we broke in game one. They're very far away from their bottom inner goal. Like we can either get at least one or two picks, if not just kill them outright. Whereas game two is a little bit different, where even though we're on the back foot, we can kind of afford to play a little bit more back, since with the poke that we had with that advantage, they had to kind of play into us. I think so. It's definitely situational for sure. It's not just a hey, if you're behind in like an organized situation. It's not like a hey, if you're behind, you have to go for Ray, or hey, if you're ahead, you have to just chill at Ray. Like it's a little bit different sometimes.
Is there any teams that you want to face in like it could be group or playoffs? Because as we know, Mhal's making it where every team's gonna everybody's gonna make it into playoffs. That you want to face in group or in playoffs?
I don't know about Rev, but for me, it's just you, Mikey. I'm glad to see that somehow, some way, you made it back into the league, and I'm glad to mop the floor with your team again. It'll be awesome.
You mean we mop the floor
Just
with you?
Hey, you did that in regular season, but playoffs is where it matters, bruv.
True.
Of the rivalry,
It's funny. No, but like actually, it's you guys. I think I'm not super familiar with the rest of your team, but I know you and Falcon are pretty damn good. And I think when you guys were on Rock Wreckers, you were probably the closest in skill level to us as far as like where I would say where we were at the time. Which, not that either of our teams were the best teams, obviously, but it always makes those matches a lot more fun, in my opinion, when you have two very close skill level teams.
Mm-hmm. And also like don't forget I used to play with you guys like back before you officially became the team.
Back in the way back days, yeah.
Yeah. Anyone like you want to give a shout out to anyone in specific or anybody?
Shout out to Dari for being an awesome sub and being basically available at any time, as well as some people know him as Agisaman. I don't know how to say his name. Fuck, Despair. If you've seen him in Twitch chat, he's Despair. Shout out to those guys. They're always willing to like be subs, like they're always available, which is freaking amazing. That's pretty much it. Also, shout out to Mhal for for organizing this whole league based off of a totally separate league that was pretty bad with communication. Where Mhal's like, well, I still want to do this, so we're gonna do it, and now look where it's at. So, Mhal, if you're watching this, you're a baller. Keep it up.
Yeah. Thanks, Mhal. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Any questions from you, Turtle, or anyone in chat willing to ask?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Actually, thanks, Granddad.
Yeah. Actually, I do have a question. Did you say were you guys calling Espeon a Pico or Espeon a comfort pick for Trick at one point?
That was terrible.
Rumors. It's okay. It's okay. I heard that from one of my teammates. I was like, what do you mean they're calling? Yeah.
No, what I was saying is that because they took out they target banned the Gardevoir and the Pikachu, I said looks like they want to take them off their comfort picks. Just assuming that those would be comfort picks for you guys and see what you can play out. Like what else you can play. Because it was target banned from game one, because like you see the Gardy go out and you're like, okay, but then the Pikachu comes out as well and you're like, oh my God, that's 2 out of the 5. And especially the 2 that we as casters saw were like putting in so much work and creating so many issues for them, right? So that's the context, I think, of what I said.
I would have gone Surfer's game, but I actually went to Water Spout. So I'm like, okay, it's Spinsoy's game. Let's go.
Yeah, when I saw that, I literally saw like, why did you go that? Especially because you were playing Defender. Like, I get if it's like a top lane, but like top lanes play both, especially in the meta. But like, as Defender, you strictly want to stick with Sir Hydro.
No. We're just 200 IQ, okay? Spinstoys is still MVP. Don't forget it, okay? You heard it here first.
You gotta play mind game.
Also, I played Venu wrong. You're supposed to back cap at Ray and ignore your team. Confirmed.
You're frontlining a lot though, as Venu though in game 2.
Hey man, when you gotta go hard. This is the way.
Facts.
All right, well, thank you guys. I'm gonna.
Rev, what about you?
You still want to continue?
Oh, a team that I want to face?
Yeah.
I want to crush Mhal's team because they got Chad.
Ooh.
I mean, they are the champions, our current champions right now, so that'd be a good scout.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go from there.
It's a long season. You got time, guys. You got time.
I kind of missed the season 1 format. 8 weeks, round robin where you face everyone, but I get it because there's more teams here. But like,
yeah, we don't want to go for 6 months.
If we have enough teams, maybe we can go for a conference kind of a format.
Yeah, like MLB, like make it like 5 teams or like 6 teams in each division, and then do it like that.
You could make it like NBA or like NFL style. You would have NFC. You just split it in 2. We'll discuss that with Mhal. If you have any ideas, don't hesitate to message him. I'm sure he'll listen.
Yeah. League chat or something, general.